things here. Unfortunately, I have to leave kind of like 6, so, and there's a lot of work I programmed in. So I'll go through quickly. If anybody has questions, just shout it out. So, I mean, typically any talk I've done, it's always been about my painting, so this was a nice opportunity to show more of what I do. It's an old shot of the studio I used to have on Portland Street. It's now going to be a Philippe Stark building. These are just a couple paintings I had to go with. The big one was for a client in Ottawa that's a hockey fan, so it kind of had hockey influence. And this was one of the first ones. The reason I included that piece is that one of the first ones where I used, I work on plexiglass a lot, and I work on wood. The bottom panel, which is 4 by 10 feet, is this plywood surface that has a plastic laminate on it. What I was trying to do, and then the top part, which is in 2 parts, but it's basically 4 by 8 feet, but it's 2 panels, it's plexiglass. And I was trying to mimic hockey, a rink, with the white plexi board and the clear top. And you can't quite tell in this one that it's translucent plexiglass on the top. But wherever there's no paint, you see right through the wall, but it's just appearing as white because it's whatever it is. And then there's a hot skate lace, and just logos and stuff. Just to show different shows. That I kind of have kept it in the last 4 years, just because basically I'm tired of showing my own work. But this is a show. These are all on plexiglass. This is like 4 feet by 4 feet. These are smaller ones, like 18 by 18, I think. There's collage, there's pouring, there's painting, there's stuff. So like I said, there's a lot of things. So
oil paint or acrylic on plexiglass?
On plexiglass. And, okay, there it changed. Did we skip a couple? Yeah, we did. Because it wasn't responding. So that's another one.
How big?
This one's about 48 by 36 or whatever.
I really like that.
Just another. I have a gallery that's in Singapore and Kuala Lumpur that show my work. That's where I sold more paintings.
How come? Yeah.
Well, I've been there since '97, and there's about 4 or 5 Canadian painters that are in that gallery. I mean, word of mouth. Somebody else that was in there before me said, "Show your work," and blah blah blah. So this is a 2 wood panels that I took. Jack Nicholson, obviously. Why is this not on here? Yeah, okay. So that's the location then, the gallery, with 2 other different paintings. Oh, actually, that's 2 shots. I'm sorry, but in the same gallery.
Are all 3 pieces yours?
Yes,
And
not the sculpture, not the sculpture. I like the sculpture.
The sculpture's beautiful.
Thank you very much. Any slides? Who said that anyway? Okay.
I saw the paintings, of course.
I've always tried different things, so I did a couple pieces. I had this idea I was going to do like 100 of these, but I only got through 2 of them. But they were 2 together. Give It All to Me, Big Boy, and How Am I Doing, Baby?
And they're lit from behind?
They're Durtrans, yeah, backlit Durtrans. Those are big light boxes. And they're just some photos and stuff I took and then collaged together on the computer, and then dropped the type in. They were supposed to. They were an old signage off an old Bank of Montreal. They were taking them off the bank, and I said, "I'll take those." And so they were supposed to be ads for me. They were supposed to be in the essence of ads, but they weren't selling anything but a bizarre statement. Another series of paintings. This one, I made this. I've been working with film for 5 or 6 years. I mean, all my life since I was a kid, but not prolifically. Just dabbled and enjoyed doing it. And then, so for this series of paintings, I created this. I created a faux or a fictitious script, and then the body of work kind of was like a storyboard for the fictitious script. And it was about this post Second World War story of a guy who came back in a love lost, like he had somebody he met in Europe during the war and came back to his wife, but then didn't know where he stood. And that's the guy. So I took these cartoons, like I created these characters and kind of painted them underneath the paint. And I wanted this kind of too, it's the way I poured the paint on. I wanted it to make it kind of Wonderbird generic kind of thing. But with these cartoon kind of characters, they're more prevalent in some and less in others.
Are you using like a matte, like a gel, like these mediums in it? Because you look like they have quite a bit of texture and depth, like they're thick.
I became addicted to self-leveling gel and was buying it by the 5-gallon jug. Sleeping with it. But it's, yeah, so because you can control the translucency, and when it would dry, it would give you like a meniscus of like almost a quarter of an inch. Well, I would play with it. I'd leave jugs with the lid off for months at a time, so that, and keep stirring every day so it didn't form a skin, but it took all the moisture out of it, and you could pour it and it would stay really, really thick. And then I've always gone back and forth with paper and canvas. When I was working at when I was being forced out of the studio, which was the first shot, I did this series, which was kind of, there were all these tangled ropes that kind of just, they were my feelings at the time. I just thought it was 4 or 5 different things that were in my life that were all tangled up, and so I did these series that were like this. And then I had these slogans that I would put in the background that were, you know, that you could kind of read but couldn't, and then I wanted them to be kind of like haiku kind of poetry where there was a hidden meaning, but then when you really figured it out, they were mundane kind of, like this one says in the background, next week we can vacuum. So they were always scripts that didn't really have much meaning. So most of these are on paper. This was, they were exhibited last May in the gallery show in Singapore. And some of them, this one and another one are part of this book that they're going to publish, Magenta.
Oh, the Magenta magazine.
This one got into it, and there's lots of diving board. They're all just little thoughts in my mind. Kind of, they were each kind of like a thought of the day, so to speak. Sometimes this works when I hit it, and sometimes it doesn't. It's always a lot of collage in my work, even if half the time it's covered up, sometimes it shows through. Whether it's on, these are all paper. They're all like 6 foot by 4 or whatever that is.
Oh, really?
Some big sheets of this stuff I got at Wolfitz. It was 100% rag, 100% acid-free stuff that was museum backboard. It was perfect for painting on. It was really nice. Like it had a nice quality to it too. It didn't seem like a backboard.
What is the green in that paper?
What is the which?
That green, is that paint or paper?
That's paint. If I showed you my older work, which I didn't, I would always have these kind of graphic shapes painted over, kind of loosely painted and stuff. So that's kind of throwback.
Joe, was it like alpha matte or alpha rag you used, or was it actual paper? Or was it almost like a matte board?
It was between a matte board and paper. It was a nice looking surface. It didn't seem like it should be a backer board, and that's why. And they had it on. They've got skids of it in for really cheap. The show I did in Vancouver in '06. It was called Sweet Tooth. I don't think it was